Calypso is social computing in the form of a concert website that allows users to check out concerts that are coming up, find a concert that interests them, add the concert to their calendar, connect with people who are also going to that show through a chat feature that will then allow them to, if they want to, meet up before the show, grab a drink, grab some food, communicate with each other to help each other out in a city they're maybe unfamiliar with. It's definitely just a good way for a user to find other people who are very like-minded or who have similar interests to theirs, in the form of like bands they like, things they like going to. So Calypso allows a user to, again, kind of follow bands, follow users, and follow venues and keep track of everything. Let's check out what Calypso has. So just here on the homepage, I have a couple of little concepts of what maybe would pop up, just a couple bands that would maybe pop up, popular shows coming up. If the user were to go here, this would be the landing page. They could search for something here if they want looking for something in particular, or if they're kind of open to doing something tonight or doing something in the next couple of weeks if they're just looking for something to do, they could check out one of these. So just clicking on something here. We have the Angry Men. Clicking on this, you can add the show to a calendar. You can buy tickets to this show, which right now it'd be a little bit too complex to have that happen within the site. So I have a linking you to an external site, something like Ticketmaster, something like that. If this is a real site, I would hope that someday we would be able to actually, have the feature within the site. I'm just clicking off here. It takes you back to the home page. If you back out of the external site, which maybe isn't preferable, but just for functional reasons, I don't think it's a big deal right now. So anyway, so that's just kind of an idea. You can click this up here to go back to the home page. So one of the tasks I gave users was to go to Mastodon, the concert coming up. Obviously, in a real situation, you'd be able to type here, but just click search. So if a user were to search something like Mastodon Vogue Theater Indianapolis, this will pop up. Just the most relevant return result. So the user could do this, and again, they could buy tickets, they could add a show to a calendar, or they could go to the chat feature, which is really the bread and butter of this social computing website. So you can go here. See, it's a general idea, it would default to the tickets channel, kind of similar to something like Discord, where you have these multiple channels here you can go to, where all the topics of conversation is going to be kind of relative or related to what the channel is about. Spare tickets, someone here asking, does anyone have spare tickets? Someone comes in and says, I've got 3 to spare, how many do you need? So this would be an alternate way for someone if they don't want to buy tickets off the open market. If they're maybe looking for spare tickets, maybe to a sold out show or something like that, they could do this. Here again, like something like Discord, doing something more like a competitive analysis. I kind of saw things with Discord that I liked. So here you can go to a user, in a real situation, be able to click on, a user over here and go to profile for purposes of this. I just have one of the users going, so you can click on JT Bozo. There's Leroy Atkins, you see information here, similar to something like a forum or something back in the day, where you can go to a user and see a little bit about them, maybe have something like, like a signature, a quote that they, love, have, and, something like that in here too. Information such as when they're a member, when they joined, how long you've been friends, if you're connected to a user, which I mentioned earlier is a functionality I'd like. This little icon here showing the user is currently active. We're currently online. I don't have these features working for purposes of this, but you could go to the user's calendar, see what shows they're going to. You can unfriend the user if you don't like them anymore. For the purposes of this, you can go to message this user, and those are kind of your private messages that you have, or direct messages. So, if you connect with this guy, you're going to a show like Mastodon, you could send a message and say, you want to meet up before the show. In an ideal world, this would be a user that you probably met through this site that you normally probably wouldn't have met, which is kind of the whole point, was to connect people that maybe otherwise would never have connected with each other. So here's an example of what you can do. You can click out of this, drop down this to something that's not so invasive while you, go around the rest of the site. But again, for purposes of this, you can't really do much beyond that. So done with this, we can go back to that there. So Obviously, a big part of it is your own profile and everything that you have, your calendar and stuff I mentioned earlier. You would access that through here. You go to your dashboard. But then here you can go to your calendar. We'll start there. You can see clicking on this. So the red means you have tickets. Blue means the show is on your watch list or something you're interested in. So you can go to your calendar for October 2020 and see, you're going to see Iron Maiden on the 5th. You're going to see Tame Impala, or you want to go see Tame Impala on the 10th in Nashville, the Sun Amphitheater. So this would be a good way to kind of track. And this would be what someone would see if they went to your profile and looked at your calendar. They can kind of see, what you're interested in, where you're going to. Maybe they can convince you to go to a show if you're kind of just on the fence about it. Say, I'm going to be there too, man. You should come with me. Another thing would be you can have favorites. You can add, as I mentioned earlier, you can have favorite venues, favorite bands, and stuff like that. So that's just where you could add those things. And then you can go to private messages. This would be another way to access, your conversation with Casey Boza from earlier, or I guess clicking that. So if you click this here, you're going to go to the messages. If you actually click their name, you're going to go to the profile. So that's that functionality there. Get your favorites, get your calendars. I mentioned earlier that kind of drops down there to where you can continue to browse around the site. So it's going to be really similar to something like Do 317 or those other sites, event websites where you can kind of go and see what's going on in the city for the night. So what's going to set it apart from those is that you're going to be able to communicate with other users, friend them on here, follow them, follow bands. Just going to have that social aspect to it that those sites are definitely lacking. That's pretty much it. That is Calypso.